Welcome to the Motivation Station. I am Ms. Trabal, and I have another lesson for all of my second grade math friends. So we're going to get started continuing our learning from last week. And our goal was to be able to work with equal groups of objects. And as we're working through this unit, some of the things we want to remember, or the words we would like to remember, are rows, columns, and equal groups. We're going to dive a little bit more into the word array, and also even and odd. This unit really sets you up for multiplication. It's your foundation for multiplication, and it kind of builds to what you're going to learn at the beginning of next year. So as we get started, we want to do a little review of even and odd, as we discussed that in our last video. Even and odd numbers. I'm going to give you a number, and I want you to tell me if it is even or odd. We're going to think about it, and then I'm going to use my little square tiles, or my square pieces of paper, to help us decide if we were correct in saying that it was even or odd. So let's start with the number 6. Is 6 an even number or an odd number? And as you are thinking, I'm going to count out 6 square pieces of paper, and I'm going to organize them into 2 rows so that each square has a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we see here, I have 2 rows so that I make 2 pairs for my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I do not have any squares left over. So this is an even number. I hope you said even number. If you did, great job. Let's think about the number 9. I know I have 6 here, so I'm going to add 3 more to get me 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I now have 9 squares, but I don't have enough to make a partner or a pair here for this one. So that means that this number must be odd because we have 1 left over from our pairs. I hope you said odd also. Let's think about the number 10. If I have 9 here, I only bring in 1 more. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or we could say I have 2 rows, and in those 2 rows, there are 5 squares in each row, so I have 10. And since I have paired up each square, we have an even number. Let's try 2 more. We can try the number 15 and determine if 15 is even or odd. So I have 10, and I think I have just enough squares. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What happened? Did you notice that we have 1 square without a pair? If you did, you are correct in that 15 is an odd number. I said we were going to do 2, so let's do 1 more. Let's do a smaller number. How about 3? Are you guessing? Are you thinking? Think. If I have 3, remember we said pairs. So right away, I'm going to take all these away. Put those to the side. I have 4. Now I have 3. And when I have 3, I am left. I have 1 pair or 1 group of 2. And then 1 left over. So 3 is an odd number. Great job, guys. So remember, even and odd. Whenever we're determining whether a number is even or odd, we group them into pairs or in 2 rows, and we fill out those rows and see, do we have anything left over? If we do, we're an odd number. If we do not, we're even. Okay, so now let's get started thinking about arrays and our rows and columns. I have some jelly beans. And I want to know, how many jelly beans did I have in my bag? One way I can count my jelly beans is by organizing them into an array. And an array is created by those two words that we used, rows and columns. I'm going to take my jelly beans and I'm going to organize them into 2 rows, and then I'll see how many I have in each row. And I like starting with 2 rows because then I can also determine if my number is even or odd. As you're organizing, it's super important to keep them lined up or paired up so that you can count them. Okay, so I noticed that I've organized these into 2 rows and I do not have any singles left over. So right away, I know this is going to be an even number. Now I can count it. And if I count each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I know that I have 14 jelly beans. I could also count my rows, and I know that I have 2 rows, and in each row I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could say 7 plus 7, 7 plus 7, which gives me 14. Is there another way I could organize these jelly beans? What if I wanted to put them in groups of 3? Let's see, if I put these in 3 rows, I don't have enough to fill up this last row. So I could not organize that by 3s. Okay, so as you're organizing your manipulatives, or maybe your candy or your crackers or any objects that you have, think about how you can make different amounts of rows and different columns and see if you can still fill them up. And if you can fill them up completely, that helps you with your repeated addition. Let's try one more object. I'm going to put my jelly beans back in the bag. This time, I have some Oreo cookies. And I want to know, how many Oreo cookies do I have left? I had my package of Oreos, and I took the cookies out so that I could lay them out and figure out, do I have enough? Or how many I have in general. So let's see. I'm going to start to organize again. Oop, we have a broken one. Notice Mr. Ball is organizing them again into pairs or into 2 rows so that I can see if my number is even or odd. Right away, I notice I do not have enough Oreos to fill in this second row. So this number has to be odd. Now, I'm going to try to reorganize them and see if I can get a complete array, meaning complete rows and complete columns. Okay, look what happens here. I was able to make 3 rows, and I was able to fill those 3 rows completely. Now that doesn't change the fact that this is still an odd number, because remember, odds we determine by the pairs, so the 2 rows. But I now can count this easier. I can count each individual one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I know that I have 9 cookies. But what if I wanted to write a repeated addition sentence? I have one row with 3 plus I have a second row with 3 and I have a third row with 3. So I know 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. And as we counted them individually, we also counted 9. All right, boys and girls, so we used 2 examples. We used our jelly beans and we used our Oreo cookies. I want you to see if you can grab maybe some crackers or grapes or something that you have that your parent will let you organize into an array and determine 1, is it even or odd? And 2, what's a repeated addition sentence that you can write to help you determine how many objects are in that array? All right, boys and girls, I will see you soon. Bye.